It's Thursday, December 24. This is the news on PBCJ. I'm Carol Francis. The government is reiterating that the curfew orders over the holiday season, in particular on December 31 and January 1, 2021, will be strictly enforced. On December 31, 2020, the curfew will begin at 10 p.m. and end at 5 a.m. on New Year's Day, January 1, 2021. On New Year's Day, the curfew will begin at 7 p.m. and end at 5 a.m. on January 2, 2021. The Office of the Prime Minister is reminding the religious community that the agreement reached with the Jamaica Council of Churches is for church services to be held within regular hours in observance of the curfew. During the curfew, pastors, technical leaders who deal with streaming, and musicians are allowed special passes to be on the road after curfew hours to facilitate the live streaming of watch night services. Here now is a quick summary of the latest COVID-19 figures from the health authorities.
2 deaths related to COVID-19 were reported on Wednesday. They are an 89-year-old male of a Senton address, a 76-year-old male of a Trelawny address, whose death was previously under investigation. The overall death toll is now 292. 96 new COVID-19 cases were also reported. This brings the overall case count to 12,519. There are now 2,493 active cases. In the meantime, 163 recoveries were also reported, pushing that total to 9,579. 79 persons are now in hospital, 22 are showing moderate symptoms, and 8 are critical. Melvin Pennant, PBCJ News.
20 passengers who arrived from the United Kingdom on Monday, December 21, have tested positive for COVID-19. They have been placed in state isolation along with 4 of their close contacts. The 20 positive samples will be sent to the Caribbean Public Health Agency for genetic assessment to determine if they are of the variant strain of COVID-19. The results for 2 passengers are still pending. 267 travelers, excluding the 4 close contacts who have tested negative for COVID-19, were transferred from state to home quarantine on Wednesday. They will be fitted with armbands and closely monitored by the parish health team and the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the JCF, as they complete their mandatory 14-day quarantine at home. Police assigned to the fraud squad is reminding the public to be mindful of fraudulent activities involving point-of-sale machines. In recent weeks, there has been an increase in the reports of business operators losing their point-of-sale machines to criminals. Business operators and customers are asked to be vigilant and to report any suspicious activity to the police. We get more in this report from Melvin Pennant.
Business operators are urged not to leave POS machines unattended, not to give POS machines to customers without paying attention, and to verify that the machine belongs to the business before using it. Customers are also advised to sign up with your financial institutions to get alert on transactions. Carefully check receipts after transactions to ensure that the POS cost is correct, and to always keep their credit card and debit card in their line of sight. Anyone who has been the victim of a fraudulent point-of-sale transaction is being urged to contact the fraud squad at 876-971-3346, our Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. Melvin Pennant, PBCJ News.
Many look forward to Christmas. It's a time of relaxation, spending time with family and friends. It's also a time for reflection. Many get caught up shopping for gifts. It's at this time that shoppers are most vulnerable to scams. They often let their guards down, become careless or desperate for last-minute gifts, and become vulnerable to theft and other holiday crime. Not to worry, there are ways you can stay safe this season. The Jamaica Constabulary Force has provided safety tips that will help us stay safe during this holiday season. They include shopping during daylight hours whenever possible, Avoid wearing expensive jewelry, and most importantly, be aware of your surroundings.
So you want to make sure that you are paying attention to your immediate surrounding. Look at the people beside you. You're walking on the street, you don't want to be talking on your cell phone or having your headset on, because that limits your ability to hear and see what's happening around you. If you have to go into those public spaces, and more often than not, they are crowded spaces, you want to limit the amount of bling that you wear. So your expensive jewelry and the gadgets that will attract criminals to you, you want to leave those home and try to be as basic as possible. Even if you don't have to carry a big handbag, try to wear something that you can actually put your money in your pocket, and the types of pockets that they can't pick your pocket, as they would say in Jamaica.
The internet has opened the door to other types of criminal activities. Card skimming is an easy way to steal your debit or credit card information. This is done using a bogus card reader or skimmer. Criminals place the bogus card reader over the real reader or in ATM machines. The device captures and stores all the details stored on your card's magnetic strip. Stay alert to protect your card from being skimmed.
When you go to the store, there's something that they call that they skim your card. They steal your information so that they can put it on a bogus card, and then it mimics your card. So what you want to do in those instances is that once you go somewhere to use whether your credit card or your debit card, it should not be removed from your presence. You shouldn't take your eye off your card. So you watch them put the card in the machine and you watch them take it out. So you don't let anybody go to an office or go somewhere else. The good part of it is that the point-of-sales machine, they are mobile. So there's no reason for it to be taken out of your sight. So keep an eye on your cards at all times.
The internet has made it easy, simple, and convenient to shop online. It has also made it easy for persons to fall victim to fake sellers. The next time you visit an e-commerce store, check to make sure it's a legitimate site. Do a background check. Check the HTTPS and other identifying information about the vendor, or simply Google the site you're going on.
People set up shopping sites, fictitious shopping sites, just to get you to go use your credit card and purchase items, but those items will never come because they were not legitimate sites. So use the sites that you're familiar with, and you want to shop with places that don't ask you for like your password for your card and your debit card and things like those. So you just have to be as vigilant online as you are in person.
With all the hustle and bustle going on over the holidays, pay attention. Don't provide opportunities for you to get robbed in person or online. Beware of strangers approaching you. Some criminals work alone or with others. Stay alert to what's happening around you. The festive season is seen as the best time of the year by some, but the season also brings its own stresses and challenges.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Christmas is a period that is associated with a lot of expectations. People are expected to be redoing their homes, painting the house. We're expected to be decorating the house. People expecting us to buy gifts and share gifts. It's a period of celebration, right? Lots of partying, office party, family gathering, activities at church. It's a period associated with a lot of spending. We know that, the gift and the partying and the going out. It's all about spending, and spending a lot of money sometimes. It's about, associated with the celebration, is about people coming together, families, friends. So there are lots of things occurring, taking place at Christmas. I think the number one stress that people will highlight collectively as a group, as a country, is really the high levels of crime and violence, you know? I think that's stressful for all of us. And we really hope and pray that we'll get to the day when we can contain and deal with this, the crime and violence in the society. For all of us, it's stressful. You leave your house in the morning, you contemplate what could happen to you, family, friends throughout the day. You go home in the evening, on your way home, you pray and you hope that nothing tragic will happen to you. It's a stressful place sometimes. On the streets can be stressful with the indiscipline on the road and how some Jamaicans, selfish Jamaicans, actually drive on the road. That makes life very stressful. It may be that you don't have the money, right? And people are making expectations of you. You are a parent, family. Your children may be expecting gifts, and you're not able to provide them the gifts they want. Family members may be expecting gifts. You're not able to do it. That could lead to depression. The socializing is problematic for some persons because it's a time when we really expect and anticipate family and friends to be around. And for some persons, it's very difficult, either that their family not around, especially if a family member is absent because of illness or death, and especially if the death occurred near to Christmas. So you find that people who are grieving, right, and have had recent loss of a family member may find it very difficult.
What can you do to reduce and manage stress and depression during the holidays? Mental health professional Dr. Wendell Abel suggests the following.
I think we have to manage our expectations. We need to be realistic, right? If it is that you don't have a lot of money, don't put yourself under a lot of pressure to spend, yes? Be realistic, live within your means, manage your resources well. Always encourage people at Christmas to, it's a time, you know, where people are sharing gifts, they're giving, people expecting to receive. But one of the greatest acts that we can do in life is just give and give of ourselves and give of our time. And so I encourage a lot of people to just go out and volunteer at Christmas, right? That it is in giving that we receive. And for lots of us, it is in giving that we become happy, you know? And you don't have to have a lot of money to give. You can give of your time. Give of what you have, your time, your talent, and your spirit. That for some people, that's the greatest gift. But there are other things, just lifestyle changes, yes? And in fact, I often encourage people to exercise. In fact, it's often said that exercise is probably one of the most powerful forms of antidepressant. The problem is that when some people are depressed, they don't have enough energy. So it's very difficult for them to go out and exercise. But exercise is very important. But also just changing our lifestyle, changing our outlook on life, trying to be more positive. That a lot of people, when they're depressed, or even before they're depressed, they have a tendency to engage in a lot of negative thinking, what we call catastrophic thinking, yes? And I think it's just important for us to be able to identify, police our thoughts, and develop an attitude where we just manage our thoughts and don't engage in negative thinking. A common one is what we call catastrophic thinking. And a lot of people engage in catastrophic thinking. If a pin drops on the table, they respond to it and they say it's an anchor that has dropped out of the sky and the place is about to be destroyed, right? There's this tendency to be catastrophic, and so we have to change how we look at things and to just develop a positive attitude towards life and an attitude of gratitude for the things around us.
For many, the holiday season takes a different tone. Every year at this time, millions of people across the globe struggle with depression, anxiety, stress, and even contemplate suicide. To them, the holiday season can be anything but cheerful. The good news is that you can take some simple, easy steps to boost your mood, ease your stress, and manage your own expectations. Live in the moment, try something new, and truly have a Merry Christmas and a wonderful holiday season.
Motorists will pay more for gas and diesel at the pumps this week. Gabriel Thompson gives us these and other details in this quick business report.
According to the latest ex-refinery costs from Petrojam, motorists should see an increase at the pumps in the prices of gasoline and diesel effective Thursday, December 24. 87 and 90 octane gasoline will be sold for $110.35 and $113.18 per liter, respectively, up by $1.46 each. Following an increase of 25 cents, automotive diesel fuel will be sold for $114.78 per liter, while ultra-low sulfur diesel is up by 25 cents and will be sold for $117.02 per liter. Kerosene saw a price increase of $1.33 and will be sold for $90.22 per liter. Following an increase of 25 cents each, propane liquid petroleum will be sold for $47.68 per liter, and butane liquid petroleum will be sold for $51.07 per liter. Expect price changes after marketing companies and retailers add their respective markup to these prices. In Wednesday's trading session, the JSE combined index advanced by 1,546 points to close at under 400,000 units. Overall market activity resulted from trading in 95 stocks, of which 41 advanced, 36 declined, and 18 traded firm. The junior market index declined by 1 point to close at under 3,000 units. Stocks advanced for 138 Student Living Jamaica, 1834 Investments Limited, and Access Financial Services Limited. Stocks declined for AMG Packaging and Paper Company Limited, Burita Investments Limited, and Berger Paints Jamaica. Trading firm were 138 Student Living Variable Preference, Siboney Group Limited, and Consolidated Bakeries Jamaica. Wigton Wind Farm Limited ordinary shares was the volume leader with 10.9 million units, followed by Sagicor Real Estate X Fund Limited with 6.2 million units, and Trans Jamaican Highway Limited with 2.1 million units. Now for the foreign exchange. The US dollar on Wednesday, December 23, ended trading at $143.70. The Canadian dollar sold for an average $112.98. The pound sterling traded for $193.14, and the euro ended trading at $176.98. Oil prices edged down on Thursday but were holding well above $50 per barrel in light holiday trade as a drop in U.S. stockpiles spurred demand hopes, while hints of an imminent Brexit deal underpinned investors' risk appetite. Brent crude futures were down 40 cents to $50.80 a barrel. West Texas Intermediate crude futures slid 36 cents to $47.76 a barrel. And that's it for this edition of the Business Report on PBCJ. I'm Gabrielle Thompson, wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
In regional news, scores of tourism workers in Barbados are in line to receive their outstanding severance payments in the coming days. We have the details in this report.
Tourism Minister Senator Lisa Cummins tells Barbados Today Accra Beach Hotel and Spa has agreed to pay its former workers, while NIS officials are feverishly working to deliver monies owed to former Hilton Barbados employees. The hotels recently made headlines as workers staged protests demanding their outstanding payments. Minister Cummins says the NIS has been working around the clock to ensure workers can receive their payouts. The National Union of Public Workers and the Sanitation Service Authority held fruitful talks this week, and workers' concerns will be addressed. The two sides have been at odds over a wage increase, the introduction of a medical plan, better amenities for workers, and other issues. The NUPW's Acting General Secretary Wayne Walron told Barbados Today he's satisfied with commitments given by management.
We discussed a number of issues. We discussed the core medical plan. And yes, satisfied that is advancing. So we have some additional information for workers in terms that the plan is advancing. The medical plan, however, even though we already there was some commitment in principle, We need information on the costing because initially workers were under the impression and the union that it would be 100% financed by the employer. But given certain pronouncements, it seemed as though they wanted the direction was shared arrangement with the employee. So we would need to see what the figures are first to see how it impact on the average worker, what would be the cost of the plan in terms of the premiums, and then we'll go forward with further discussion. Management has promised to send the information so that we would be in a position to have a better understanding of the impact of any share costs on the workers. That's one. Two, the issue of the recreation facilities, where I start on the recreation area, so essentially is that.
Walron, however, said there's still work to be done on proposals for a wage increase for SSA workers. He maintains it's a fair request.
One has to appreciate that the sanitation workers, that their job is so dangerous that many of them don't even reach retirement. They actually sacrifice their lives to the nation to ensure Barbadia's landscape is clean. So this upgrade is something you have to look at carefully. Obviously, we understand we're in an economic environment, but even against a question about the environment, we can get some kind of commitment or appreciation for what these workers are worth. We could come to some amicable agreement, even if we work with logistics as to when it can happen in terms of having these workers actually upgrade.
The Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Keith Rowley, is appealing to the business community to ensure customers adhere to proper social distancing while shopping for Christmas. Sunil Lala reports.
Today I want to appeal to all the business community. This might be your best week, I know that. Might be your best week in the year, but don't let it be the week when we would have lost the gains that we have made.
The concern and appeal from Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley just 2 days before Christmas for supermarkets, retail stores and other establishments to adhere to the 50% capacity. At a media conference on Wednesday, Dr. Rowley said there were no changes made to any of the protocols currently in place, but urged all citizens to practice physical distancing to ensure cases do not increase in the next few weeks. Head of the thoracic department at the Cora Hospital, Dr. Michelle Trotman, reminded people that they have a choice to turn back from any establishment that may be overcrowded.
Make it your personal responsibility that if you go to those areas, like I do, Minister Young does, CMO does, you're not comfortable, remove yourself from that environment.
Dr. Rowley said he understands Tobago is expecting a bumper number of visitors for the Christmas season and is warning against any planned parties.
Trinidadians going to Tobago. It is not a free-up zone. It is not a COVID propagation zone. It is not a COVID spreader zone. It's a great place to spend Christmas and the New Year. Be there, but you see these parties you all are organizing there, and we know what you're doing. You are going to be visited by law enforcement.
Meanwhile, Health Minister Terence Dialsing also advised against a new trend of time-lapse liming.
So if they are accustomed having 30 or 40 people at home, they are now saying, okay, 10 people come between 9 and 12 for brunch, 10 come between 1 and 3 for lunch, and 10 come between 4 and 9 for dinner. That is just as dangerous as bringing all those people together.
The Prime Minister said there would be another review of the public health protocols in early January. Sonolala, TTT News.
In sports, football legend Diego Maradona was reportedly suffering from liver, kidney, and cardiovascular disease. According to the public prosecutors in Buenos Aires, his autopsy showed no signs of alcohol or narcotics consumption. The autopsy was ordered as part of an investigation into his death to see if there was any negligence or recklessness in the health care he was provided. Maradona, the World Cup winning captain from Mexico '86, died of a heart attack on November 25. He was 60 years of age. And that's a wrap on the news. On behalf of the PBCJ family, happy holidays to you and yours.